Hello friends, welcome to this discussion on X-ray crystallography, NMR and homology modeling in drug design. I am Dr. Om Silakari, Assistant Professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Drug Research, Punjabi University, Patiala. Dear friends, as we know that nowadays mainly two types of strategies including structure based drug design and ligand based drug design are currently being followed in advanced mechanism based computer aided drug designing technique. Out of these two strategies, structure based drug design is more accurate because in this strategy we directly consider 3D structure of receptor in designing drug molecule. To implement structure based drug design, starting point is 3D structures of receptor involved in disease process. Basically, X-ray crystallography, NMR and homology modeling are three most important techniques used in structure determination of functional biomacromolecules like receptors, enzyme, nucleic acid. These three techniques play indispensable role in the modern drug designing procedures. So, in this chapter, I am going to give some idea about these techniques with special reference to most popular X-ray crystallography. Present discussion is divided into 5 different modules. First modules will give you basic idea about the requirement of 3D structure of the receptor in context to modern drug designing strategies. Second will throw some light how 3D structures of receptor serve as a tool for modern drug designing. Third, fourth and fifth modules are detailed descriptions about X-ray crystallography, NMR and homology modeling. So let us start with module 1, introduction. Computer technology has been made a great resolution in all fields of sciences. In current scenario of computer technology, field of drug design has been exceptionally changed in conceptualizing ideas and their execution. Nowadays, advanced mechanism based computer aided drug designing techniques are currently being used to design new molecule as drug. CAD techniques include any application of computer based procedures for the purpose of establishing criteria to relate activity to the structure. In most current application of CAD attempts are made to find a ligand, means putative drug, that will interact favorably with receptor that represents the target site. The approach to CAD technique optimize the fit of ligand in receptor sites. Approaches used in CAD techniques are dependent upon the amount of information that is available about the ligand and receptor. When disease process is understood at molecular level and target molecules are defined, one can design a new molecule and or optimize lead molecule for desired pharmacological activity or desired pharmacokinetic profile using two types of CAD techniques, that is structure based drug designing SBDD and ligand based drug designing LBDD. For the application of structure based drug design, detailed information about 3D structures of the target protein is required. Module 2, 3D structure of a receptor, a tool for modern drug designing. Basically, structure based drug designing is multidisciplinary efforts that fuse the idea of traditional medicinal chemistry with the technique of X-ray crystallography, nuclear magnetic resonance, molecular modeling, computational chemistry, small molecular 3D database search, ab initio technique of ligand, etc. Ideally, to apply structure based drug designing technique, one would have 3-dimensional structural information for the receptor and the ligand receptor complex derived from X-ray crystallography or NMR or homology modeling, accompanied with docking analysis tool. Figure 1 outlines the mechanism based drug designing strategies. From this figure 1, it can be observed that when 3D structures of the receptor is determined either by X-ray crystallography or NMR or homology modeling. One can design new molecule as drug by directly analyzing interior architecture of the active site in it to optimize complementary fit between these molecules. 3D structures of receptor is determined by two experimental methods including X-ray crystallography and nuclear magnetic resonance, and one theoretical technique including homology modeling. Thus, these three techniques play vital role in modern drug designing procedures. Module 3, X-ray crystallography. X-ray crystallography is the starting point for gathering the information for mechanistic drug designing. It is the most foolproof method of structural elucidations of complex molecule. It gives the complete 3D structure in detail at high resolution, including bond distance, angle, stereochemistry and absolute configuration. The role of this technique in drug designing is divided into 5 following categories. In the structure elucidation of complex biological molecules that have interesting pharmacological properties, in comparison of the conformational aspect of X-ray structures with solution and protein bonded states, in mapping the structure of receptors or binding site. Fourth is in defining the molecular mechanism of drug action, in focusing on the designing of new agents by discovering the general characteristics and rules related to the drug binding. Now, what is the theory of X-ray crystallography? Basically, crystals are made up of repeating units of molecular structures. This order gives rise to a periodicity that can be analyzed at atomic level with the appropriate wavelength of radiation. X-ray radiation is ideal since the wavelengths obtainable are of order of 0.75 angstrom, which is about 1/2 of the distance of the aliphatic carbon-carbon bond, which is about 1.54 angstrom. As showing in figure 2, when a crystal placed in an X-ray beam, rays will diffracted according to Bragg's law. N lambda is equal to 2d sin theta, where n is the order of diffraction, lambda is the wavelength of the radiation, d is the distance between a given family of plane, and theta is the angle of diffraction. So what happened? A diffracted beam will only appear when the equation is satisfied, so that the angle between incident beam and the plane normal satisfy a set of discrete values. A lattice of the diffraction showing a periodicity will emerge if a spatial precision camera recording device is employed. Each diffraction intensity arises from the single solutions of Bragg's equation and can be numbered in 3 dimensions to give a unique identification number. These unique identification number are known as Miller indices and designated as H, K and L for each reflection, and are easy to label in 2-dimensional lattice, which is recorded with K is equal to 0. 3D structures of macromolecule elucidated by X-ray crystallography using following steps: obtaining the pure sample, crystallization of macromolecules, structure solution by diffraction, electron density mapping, model building from diffraction data using electron density fitting programs like Frodo or O program, refinement using various automatic refinement tools like ProLSQ, GPR, LSA, Bristane, TNT. Finally, evaluation of crystallographic structure using various methods like R factor calculation, Ramachandran plot, etc. Obtaining the pure crystal. It is the first and common step for both experimental methods like X-ray crystallography and NMR. Isolating of sufficient quantity of pure sample of macromolecule is important. Quality of solved structure depends upon the crystal growth. Well diffracting single crystal is required. This depends upon purity of the sample. 10 milligram is required for initial crystallization. More amount is required for further processing. Therefore, a standard procedure to get the pure sample is required. Most foolproof method is recombinant DNA technology. Now, advantages of recombinant DNA technology: it can purify sufficient amount in milligram to gram quantity. It has the ability to express stable domain of complex multi-domain structure, soluble receptor and general proteins which would be impossible to purify. It has the ability to express eukaryotic proteins in bacteria without carbohydrate moiety, which render them heterogeneous and not suitable for crystallization. Next, it has the ability to produce genetically engineered protein suitable for ab initio structure solution, and it has the ability to mutate specific amino acid in protein for any other desired residue in order to explore structural functional modification. Now, crystallization. Some of the most successful methods to crystallize macromolecule include vapor diffusion in cavities on slides or by hanging drop, precipitation from salt solution or from mixture of organic liquids that are not miscible with the buffer, microdialysis, and last, layering organic liquids not miscible with buffers containing the macromolecules. Vapor diffusion method: as shown in figure 3, vapor phase method, the compound to be crystallized is dissolved in a small amount of solvent in a tube or a small flask. This tube is placed inside the larger tube containing a second solvent that is immiscible with the first solvent, but that normally precipitate the compound if added drop-wise. The larger outer tube is sealed and vapor are left to mix a quiet place. Typical solvent system used are ethanol ether and ethyl acetate petroleum ether. Crystals appears within a few days. Sometime for protein crystallization, microscopic slides with small cavities are used in place of inner test tube. About 40 microliter droplet of solution containing approximately 0.4 milligram or less macromolecule is placed in the cavity of the slides. This slide is placed in the bottom of sandwich box having precipitating solvent. Now, limitations of crystallography: an extremely pure protein sample is needed. The protein sample must form crystal that are relatively larger without flaws, generally the biggest problem. And last one is, many protein are not amenable to crystallization at all. For example, protein that do their work inside a cell membrane. So now module 4, nuclear magnetic resonance. NMR is the best technique for determining detailed structural and dynamic information on the molecule in solution. NMR can provide conformational information on 3D structures of a small molecule in solution and high molecular weight complexes, and also detail of enzyme mechanism that can be used to aid in drug design. Now, what is the basic idea behind the technique of NMR? The basic principle of NMR experiment is to excite nuclear spin states with radio frequency pulse and monitor them while they relaxed. The geometry of the molecule can be determined by analyzing the ways in which the spin relaxation occurs. Each atom with the nuclear spin gives rise to an individual signal, that is chemical shift, which carries information about the atom itself and its local chemical environment. NMR is unique among many forms of spectroscopy in that there are so many parameters associated with a spectrum other than just peak intensity and frequency. Many parameters are given in table number 1. First parameter, chemical shift, that reflects local chemical environment and provides a fingerprint markers of the structure, particularly in HSQC spectra. Second is coupling constant and is used in conformational analysis and in establishing molecular connectivity. Third one is nuclear Overhauser effect, which can be used in determining interproton distance and three-dimensional structure. Fourth one is the relaxation time used in molecular dynamics. Fifth one is line shape and is used in detecting and quantifying chemical exchange processes. Sixth one is peak intensity, which reflects relative number of nuclei and molecular symmetry. And seventh, amide exchange rates or temperature coefficient, which can be used in hydrogen bonding or solvent exposure of amide protons. Now, what is the methodology of NMR? Structure determination by NMR is performed in following steps. First is the preparation of sample. We have already seen in X-ray crystallography. Second is spectral data collections. Spectral data are collected from various NMR techniques like 1D NMR including 1H13C or 2D NMR including 1H15N HSQC, 1H13C HSQC and COSI, etc. Next is assignment of chemical shift to the structural elements present in the molecule, analysis of Overhauser effect measurement. Next is assignment of secondary structure element like alpha helix, beta sheet, loops. Next, initial structure calculation. Next, refinement of structure using various automatic refinement tools. Next, evaluation of crystallographic structure using various methods like R factor calculation, Ramachandran plot. Now, what is the contribution of NMR in drug designing? Basically, drug development is an iterative process and can be simplified by representing it with two interconnecting cycles of activity as shown in figure 4. There are 5 broad categories of NMR experiments that may contribute to this overall drug development process. The first one is small molecule or ligand based NMR. This involves the studies of drugs and drug leads, typically organic molecule with a molecular weight less than 500 Dalton, but also including small proteins of up to few kilodalton. These studies may be used to characterize natural product or synthetic drug leads or to determine their conformation. Second one is macromolecular NMR. This involves the studies of the macromolecular targets of the drugs, typically to determine their three-dimensional structure and or the nature of their complex with the ligands. Third one is NMR screening. This involves the use of NMR to identify lead molecules that bind to the macromolecular targets. These studies typically involve both small molecular and macromolecular and seek to detect the presence of binding interactions between them. Fourth one is metabolic NMR. This involves the studies of endogenous molecules whose level may be modified by drug treatment or studies of the metabolites of drug themselves. Finally, fifth one is NMR imaging. Such studies provide anatomical information in an animal model or human patient. This includes, for example, monitoring the size of the plaques or tumor in brain of Alzheimer's or cancer patients respectively during drug therapy. So, module 5, homology modeling. Homology modeling is theoretical technique to build a 3D structures of protein based on amino acid sequence information. Now, what is the basic idea about this theoretical technique? It is very simple that amino acid sequence homology at a given level leads to similar 3D structures of protein. This method utilizes knowledge about the structural architecture of protein, the rules governing the folding, the essential interactions that hold the protein together and energy involved. The success of this method depends upon at least one reference or template homologous protein structure experimentally determined either by X-ray crystallography or NMR. Amino acid sequence and other related information can be obtained from protein databases. Most widely used are: first one, GenBank. This database and related sources are freely accessible via NCBI homepage. Next is SwissProt. It is known large protein database that is valued for its high quality annotation and the uses standard nomenclature directly linked to specified database and minimum redundancy. The detailed description available at www.expressi.org. Third one is Trimble. It is a computer annotated supplement to the SwissProt. Many of these amino acid sequence can be grouped in a family of proteins with common structural domain. Most popular structural database are SCOPE, that is structural classification of protein. Second is CATH, class, architecture, topology and homologous superfamily. Now important definitions related to homology modeling. To understand the homology modeling, there are certain terms which one should have to be understood. These are: first, domain. It is an independent structural unit which can found alone or in conjunction with other domains. The domains are evolutionary related. Second is constraint. This is a requirements that system is forced to satisfy. For example, in constraint, bonds or angles are forced to adopt a specified value throughout the simulations. Next, restraint. If bond or angle are restrained, then they are able to deviate from the desired value, means that restraints only acts to encourage a particular values. Next, identity. The two proteins that have certain number of amino acid is common at aligned positions are said to be identical to that degree. For example, out of 144 amino acid, 43 are common, means two proteins are 29.9% identical. Next is similarity. Often a number of residue will be replaced by one of the similar physicochemical properties, such as mutation, are said to be conservative and can be defined by various scoring schemes to quantify that how similarity the two sequences are. Such score will be the measure of similarity. Next is homologous. If two proteins are evolutionarily related and stem from common ancestor, they are called homologous. Now methodology of homology modeling. Homology modeling is performed in following steps. The first step is determination of structurally conserved region. Second is template selection and alignment of amino acid sequences of target protein to that of the template protein. First two steps are performed by various alignment tools like BLAST, SciBLAST, and by considering parameters like percentage identity, B factor, R factor, etc. Next is assignment of coordinates. Coordinates are assigned to structurally conserved residue and structurally variable residue. Next step is search for optimum side chain conformation for residue that differ from those in templates. Next is side chain conformational search or modeling of side chain, and next is model refinement using various automatic refinement tools, evaluation of structure using ProCheck or Ramchandran plot or other evaluation tools. At the end, whole discussion can be summarized as: nowadays, advanced mechanism based computer aided drug design technique is currently being used to design new molecule as drug for various diseased condition. CAT technique uses two types of approaches, that is structure based and ligand based drug designing. Structure based drug designing is more accurate because it directly considers the structural information of target. The success of structure-based drug designing depends upon the amount of information available for 3D structure of macromolecules involved in drug action, and information about 3D structures of macromolecules can be generated by two experimental techniques, that is X-ray crystallography and NMR, and one theoretical technique, that is homology modeling. This chapter highlights the fundamental aspect of these three methods and their role in drug designing, and this information would be helpful to the students and researchers engaged in silico designing techniques. So, I hope after this discussion you all would have sufficient information about these methods used in 3D structure determination of macromolecules and also their role in drug designing. Thank you so much.